Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Lakers dropped to the Thunder last night, 119 to 110. They'll be back tonight taking on San Antonio. San Antonio is an early 9.5-point favorite in Los Angeles. That game gets going at 7:30. And number one, no more. The Arizona Wildcats dropped to the Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence last night with no Darren Peterson, the projected number one overall pick, who was out with flu-like symptoms. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Sound off like you got a pair.
Now that football is over, does it sound desperate to say we're only 212 days away from next season?
That guy sounds weird.
Spring training is days away, and maybe the sale of the Padres. Plus, is an AJ Preller deal near? We're at the halfway point of the NBA season.
There is a steal by LeBron. Here he goes. He's on a breakaway. Slam dunk.
And the Aztecs get ready for more Mountain West play and the madness. Also,
Denver money line tonight.
This isn't happening.
Give us the Timberwolves to cover the spread against Atlanta with Kuminga and a couple of these guys out, -8.5.
Well, you better ask somebody.
Kansas, Arizona, big college basketball game. Give us the under 153.5.
That's not going to work.
look at it this way. In baseball, going 1 of 3 gets you in the Hall of Fame. Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, we enter the Fletch Zone.
Yeah, let's get it going on a Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to take over then. And hey, how about it? We got press conferences out in Peoria. I would say it's officially that time. Hope springs eternal, baby, as the Padres are getting going. You'll hear from Craig Stammen in just a little bit. Pitchers and catchers have their first workout scheduled for tomorrow. We got live Olympic action going on as we speak with the U.S. women's hockey team up 2-0 on Canada after the first period. Let's get it going on a Tuesday. Sammy Long, are you ready to have a great show?
I'm ready to have a great show.
I said, are you
by
ready to
going
have a
1
great
for 3
show?
on long shots. Listen, what did you say?
What'd you say?
I said I am ready to have a great show despite going 1 for 3 on long shots. Unfortunately, the Denver Nuggets had the game, and James Harden decided to score like 10 straight points at the end and come back and win. And the under on Kansas and Arizona did not come through. But that means it's 12:45. We're having get back this afternoon.
By the way, speaking of, and we'll get to the Padres talk in just a second here. Do you see the numbers on betting for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's through the roof.
It's outrageous, but also numbers in actual like Las Vegas were down and down bad. Everybody was trading like Sammy and I trade. People weren't really betting. They were trading. 10 times more money was spent via the apps, the Kalshis, the Poly markets, than were in actual Las Vegas, which is kind of crazy. But Big Voice Guy said that guy sounds weird. I promise you I don't. 212 days, 7 hours, 16 minutes, and 16 seconds until the NFL season starts again. I'll be your constant reminder of that. But we got a lot of other stuff going on. So let's get into it. And we'll start with the Padres, who we heard from Craig Stammen today. And pretty cool that Craig Stammen, the new Padres manager, Joe Musgrove, has come out and talked about how much of a steadying presence he's going to be and how he's transitioned perfectly from the player that he was just a couple of years ago with the Padres to the new manager. Manny Machado has come out and talked about how good he thinks Craig Stammen's going to do. And we heard from Craig Stammen today, and I liked what I heard. I really did. It was about 5-7 minutes. He was with the media earlier today. And we'll play that sound for you in just a little bit. But it does feel good that baseball's back, especially here in San Diego. It's wild that the fan base, we've been put through a lot when you think about over the last decade and a half. You had the Fowler era. You had the Fowler-Seidler era. You had the Seidler-only era. And then Peter passes away. And then whatever this current era has been, which I'm not really sure what to exactly call it. I guess the John Seidler, Peter, or AJ Preller era has just been one of confusion for a while. And I think we're still in that confusion. And there's been a few different head coaches, a few different managers over the times. But this year, I don't really know how to feel about the Padres heading into the season. And I've had strong opinions the last couple of years about what I thought they would do. This year, I feel like they're still a playoff team. I feel like things could still go well. And I'll give credit to the players. They've done a pretty good job of not letting off the field stuff come onto the field. But I don't really know how you do that going into this season because there's a lot of off the field stuff going on with the Padres.
Yeah, well, this Padre team, yeah, I agree. I think that they're a playoff team. I think they're kind of where they've been.
I think
think.
I don't know that. I don't know that they're a playoff team.
Right. Like exactly. That's the problem is that it's, I think they're going to be a good team. On paper, they're going to be a good team. I think the frustration this offseason is you already have something big looming over your head in a sale of the team, which is I'm excited about because I don't think John Seidler is put into this what Peter Preller or not Peter Preller has put into this Peter Seidler, but it feels like that's going to hang over the team's head. Obviously, the sale of a team is a big deal. The AJ Preller contract situation is very odd because in what sports league and what team do you have the GM of the team that's been operating as the GM of the team through the entire offseason and with spring training starting here in a couple weeks and then the season not too far around the corner and still does not have a contract? So that's like an odd situation to begin with. And that's before you even get to on the field with they need a fifth starter. I think they could use another bat. So, right, if you look at the team in and of itself, I think that they're a solid team. I think they are probably just as good as they were last year, maybe a little worse with some of the losses with Suarez and Arise and guys like that. But I think it can be a little frustrating because the team has stayed the same, and it feels like the Giants and the Diamondbacks are taking big swings for the fences. Whether you think Arise or Nolan Arenado or Burns coming back is going to matter all that much to them, it just feels like other teams in the division, not even talking about the Dodgers, are making big swings, and the Padres are kind of just staying neutral. Hopefully that doesn't mean that they get passed in the season ahead.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I am excited for spring training to start. Again, if you missed it, pitchers and catchers, their first day of workouts is tomorrow in Peoria. Craig Stammen, the Padres manager, had his first media availability in Peoria today. You'll hear from him coming up in just a little bit. I think there's a certain air of confusion from the Padres fan base right now that's understandable on what this team is going to be this year. And that's the other part of it. You have a brand new rookie manager as your head guy going into this season. And we could think all we want about the guy that Craig Stammen has been his entire career. From all reports, Craig Stammen's been the best guy in the Padres clubhouse over the last, 7-8 years that he's been around the team. And so that's all great. But how's he going to be as a manager?
Right. We don't know. It's a total shot in the dark.
Right. It is a total shot in the dark. And they can think as great as they want to think about him. But until game one, day one happens, I don't think we know what his philosophy and how he's going to look as a manager is going to be. But you'll hear from Craig in just a little bit. I thought he did a really nice job in his press briefing today. And if you want to hear that, just stay tuned for about 10 minutes. We will play some of it for you. But right now it's time for the Big Three, where Sammy Long rips through the top headlines in the world of sports. I know there's some juiciness revolving around Sammy's teams. The Lakers had some interesting quotes last night. Kansas with a massive win last night, taking down Arizona. That was one of the biggest wins in Kansas's recent memory.
Yeah, 619 SoCal Jayhawks says Rock Chalk Jayhawks, Sammy. Yeah,
and they do it without Darren Peterson. That was huge.
Well, that's what was crazy. So the line
was
was
deal.
The line, it was at 1.5 favorite of Arizona. Then Vegas kind of cleaned up last night because everyone, when the news came down, he had flu-like symptoms, was betting Arizona left and right, got up to 4.5. And Kansas, the crazy thing about Kansas is even though Darren Peterson is one of the best players in college basketball, if not the best player, we'll see if he's the number one pick. You got Boozer, you got DeBonsta, but the team, because he's only played in 11 of 24 games for KU, the team actually, you can make an argument, plays better when he's not on the floor because they know how to play with each other. When Peterson's playing, he's lethal. And you trust me, you want him out there. If KU's going to do anything in the tournament, he's got to be there. But it's the team chemistry is better when he's not on the floor.
Couple of big wins recently for Kansas. They're going to be scary come March Madness. But let's get to the Big Three right now. Sammy, go ahead. Smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
All right, Sammy, where do you want to start today?
All right, let's head to that game. So Kansas,
this hockey game is insane right now, dude.
I know we got America and Canada going on right now in the Olympics.
Team USA is on a power play as we speak. There's going to be some distracted radio going on. Like 5 people just got hurt on the same play because everyone collided at the goal. This is chaos.
All right, let's start with college basketball. So number 9 Kansas takes down number 1 Arizona, undefeated, no more. A few weeks out from conference tournaments. Who do you think is the best team in college basketball? And do you think we have a team this year like a Kentucky that, even though they got beat in the Final Four against Wisconsin, was kind of head and shoulders above everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the measuring bar is actually like the UConn team from 3 or 4 years ago, the one that beat San Diego State in the finals, and the one the next year that beat Purdue in the finals. that team was just a pure buzzsaw that nobody was getting close to. And they had some trouble early on in those seasons, but once it came tournament time, they were firing on all cylinders. And there wasn't a college basketball team in the country that was going to beat them because they had so many different ways to beat you. This year, I don't know that we have that. I look at Michigan's team, and I'm like, that might be the best front court in the country, the tallest, the most aggressive, and the most skilled front court in the country. But they got serious questions in the backcourt. And if their backcourt has a night where they're not making threes, well, good luck, Michigan, because I don't think you're winning a huge game in like the Final Four or the Sweet 16 even. Arizona has a little bit of they can bully you out of a game. Remember Baylor when they won their national championship, 7 years ago or so? I don't remember.
Right,
exactly
over Gonzaga, that Gonzaga team with Kispert and Timmy.
Right. That Baylor team could just bully you, and they could get offensive rebounds enough to where you could stay out of the game because you simply wouldn't have enough possessions to beat Baylor. Arizona has a little bit of that, but last night they showed they're susceptible if you get a really, really talented Kentucky or Kansas team going up against you. So I don't know that there's a buzzsaw this year, but there are some really good teams that have a lot of ways to beat you, and Arizona and Michigan have to be the two favorites still, regardless of what happened last night.
Right. I mean, Arizona, it's amazing when you're playing a Big 12 schedule that they were undefeated. I mean, the Big 12 is stacked. Kansas, Iowa State. I mean, just go down the list. You're playing a ranked team. Houston, it feels like every matchup.
And what's the most impressive about Arizona is you've gotten college kids who, as of right now, they're still the best team in the country, in my opinion. And you have them working their asses off every single night, even for games they're favored by a ton of.
Right. Tommy Lloyd's been fantastic. But so the Arizona still feels like a favorite to me. Michigan, obviously we saw when they dismantled San Diego State and they had that Players Era tournament where they looked far and away the best team in college basketball. But typically teams that have good front courts, that their calling card is front courts, don't win in the tournament. The tournament is usually around excellent guard play, excellent play on that end. You got Iowa State, who I don't think scores enough to win up there. Nebraska was a great story, undefeated, but they faltered a little bit. Duke is the classic. They're all true freshmen and have all the talent in the world, and there's going to be a ton of NBA draft picks, but
they just lost to North Carolina.
They just lost to North Carolina. I don't take a ton of stock in that game, and it feels like that was North Carolina's Super Bowl.
Dude, home dogs win in that series. Look back at the history.
So, but Duke, like, look at Kentucky. Kentucky's been a prime example the last few years of all the talent in the world, NBA draft picks galore, and they go to the tournament and they get upset in the first, second round because of that. So it does feel pretty wide open. I think it'll be a fun March Madness because there isn't just one team that is so much better.
Tell you who's freaking scary this year, and watch out for him. Nebraska is freaking amazing.
They are good.
Like, amazing. Watch out for Nebraska come tournament time. They'll be like a 3 or 4 seed probably, but they're going to be really, really tough to beat.
All right, let's head to the Lakers. Less fun. The Lakers last night lose 119 to 110. They fought in the game, no SGA, no Luka, but came up short. LeBron after the game said, quote, "We aren't a championship team," and called out the Lakers for not playing a full 48 minutes. Basically said Oklahoma City is championship level basketball because they play the whole game. What do you make of LeBron calling out the team post trade deadline?
I mean, what he's saying isn't necessarily wrong, but it's so funny to me that LeBron does this. And this isn't new. This is stuff he's done forever where, okay, maybe this isn't the best example because LeBron's not really the GM of this team anymore. And it's clearly shifted hands over. Like, this is Luka's squad for the foreseeable future. But like, LeBron has done things in the past where he's essentially forced the moves to bring people into his team, whether he's with the Cavs or with Miami or with the Lakers. And then a couple weeks later calls out the team. We're like, dude, you built this thing. This is your mess that you're now complaining about. So I don't always get it from LeBron. I would say he's not wrong. The Lakers don't look like a championship team. OKC clearly is the pedigree in the NBA right now. But it's always funny when stuff like that comes from LeBron to me because I'm like, dude, this is kind of your mess.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, look, as evidence, the Russell Westbrook trade. That was a horrible trade that was completely pushed by LeBron James. And KCP, Kuzma, guys that could have really been of value to the Lakers, 3-and-D wings were shipped out for LeBron's friend. And he's right. I agree. The Lakers don't play defense at a clip where you're going to beat Oklahoma City, San Antonio, about Houston, but there is certainly a cap to how good this Lakers team can, or how far this Lakers team can go this year. I think they can win around in the playoffs depending on who they get. Maybe 2, but it's probably capping out at that. It is, though, LeBron's part of the problem. And LeBron, although he's playing at an unbelievable level, LeBron's probably not playing tonight because he doesn't play back-to-backs. So when you're making a max salary level contract, you expect max salary level production and availability. That's the other thing, because LeBron fans go, he is playing like a max level salary player, which is very true, but also because of his age, not being able to play defense night in, night out, not playing back-to-backs, you're not getting the full magnitude of a max level salary player. So the rest of the team is lacking some holes in some rotational pieces. Luka was out last night, but the Lakers, it is tough to watch defensively. They play defense in spurts. They just can't play over 48 minutes, which is why they probably are going home in one of the first couple rounds.
Do we have one more quickie? Because I want to get some of these texts. They're fantastic.
Yes. SCFC back against Pumas tonight.
Hey,
they're up 4-1.
Pumas? Talking about Pumas?
They're up 4-1 on aggregate after a big W over them last week. They're on the road now. What would a decisive performance in this tourney mean for the team heading into the MLS season?
I mean, the ins and outs of MLS and the CONCACAF and everything, I'd be lying if I tried to break it down and understand everything that goes into it, but I do know it's important. And we had Darren Smith on, last week? And he was talking about how this is the premier level of what SDFC can actually get to. So, of course, it's going to be important. What I will say, I saw this stat earlier today. Very, very cool for SDFC, and probably great news for our buddy Tom Penn and everybody who's, making sure SDFC lasts for decades here and is a staple of the future. The valuations of MLS teams just came out. In their second year, SDFC is already a top 10 valuation team in MLS, up over $700 million. That's huge for any expansion team. You think about the first 5 or 6 years as you might be down near the bottom in that sense of team value.
Right, you're building up value.
Exactly. But SDFC, just with 1 year of great success, and honestly, a huge credit to the San Diego fan base, totally. 1 year of that, and you're already top 10 in the entire MLS.
Well, and to think that last year was a Cinderella run, and it was the whole year. So no one could have predicted that you would be in the Final Four and have the best record in MLS last year, or one of the best records in the MLS. And then, so this year, there's going to be the natural skepticism of was this an overperformance? Was this team kind of dumb enough to think that they could go that far, and they actually went that far? It's nice that they're coming out here against Pumas, a team that's, by all accounts, I'm not going to act like some soccer expert, but by all accounts, is a very solid team, per what Darren Smith was saying. And you come out and put a real statement at home in Snapdragon. We'll see how they play tonight, but it just kind of lets people know that despite Alaski not being there, despite Chucky Lozano, despite some of the drama that has surrounded this team a little bit in its first season, it's nothing is bigger than the brand of SDFC and the Right to Dream Academy. So you're seeing that no matter kind of who's out there, it's a winning program. It's nice to see them get off to a nice start here in 2026.
All right, we got some excellent texts. One of them is already making fun of my 49ers, so it's a real show. But we got some great stuff. We'll get it all on the other side. Plus, you're going to hear from the Padres' new manager, Craig Stammen, and judge for yourself how you think he's going to do as the Padres manager. All that coming up next at San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. We are watching athletes from all over the world compete for gold medals as we speak. They're out in Italy, and it's the best athletes in the world coming together, all fighting for one prize. If you want to win the gold medal of relationships, you're going to have to go out to Valley View Casino and Hotel for Valentine's Day, and you can eat at the Black and Blue Steakhouse, and your lady is going to get a rose. So if you want to win the gold medal of Valentine's Day, get on out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel. Plus, while you're there, you're eating at the Black and Blue Steakhouse. Make sure you sign up for the players card because you're going to receive over $200 in free offers to use at San Diego's favorite casino, including $10 off your dinner at the Black and Blue Steakhouse, and that rose they throw in there for free. That could be your metaphorical gold medal, but make sure you get out there to Valley View Casino and Hotel. Make sure you sign up for the Players Club card because you're going to get $200 of free offers to enjoy instantly at Valley View Casino and Hotel, including $10 of more play, which is free slot play, $10 of match play, which is free table game play, $20 to the Black and Blue Steakhouse. I think I said 10 earlier. I was lying. It's 20. $10 to Patties and Pints, $10 to the cafe, and plenty more. And plus, when you upgrade your player's card from red card to blue card, you're going to get 2 free Maine lobster buffets. The more you use your Players Club card on all your favorite slots or table games, the more rewards you're going to earn. So don't miss out. Visit Valley View Casino and Hotel coming up on Valentine's Day and indulge in a delicious Valentine's Day feast. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurants. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to take over then. We're going to start off with a very nice text and then get to a mean text about my 49ers. So we'll start with this from the 858. We appreciate you, 858. He says this: just wanted to thank you boys for an outstanding NFL season and put in my way too early prediction of Chiefs 49ers in next year's big game.
858. We appreciate you tuning in, man. You guys make it work coming in every season.
Chris Jones has guaranteed the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl. Is that right?
Yeah. And last time he did that, they won it the next year.
Fred Warner has guaranteed the 49ers will be in the Super Bowl this year. We need to go to Vegas almost immediately. 858. You're welcome to come with. All right. 484 texting in saying Keon White shot. So the 49ers are off to a good start of being healthy in 2027. Thank you for that. Did you see that? It was apparently like some interaction with a rapper. Who's the rapper?
I didn't know it was a rapper.
I think it's Big Baby, something like that.
You're talking about Lil Baby or
Lil Baby? Maybe. I don't know. I
There's
might
multiple.
be
let me
totally
look this up.
fake newsing it right now.
I was
but
about to say I
there
didn't
was
hear that at all.
It was a party that Keon White was hosting. The rapper showed up. They got in some sort of altercation.
Lil Baby at a SF party for exotic dancers.
He got shot through his leg. Had to have surgery almost immediately. So, yes, the start for the 49ers is not going great. 619, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, Sammy.
Yes, sir.
913. Did you guys watch The Housemaid yet? The trailer looks like it's a nice movie on the eyes. Saw it in theaters. It was
did?
Great.
Was it spicy?
You get what you paid for.
Okay.
Like, they understood the assignment, if that's what you're asking.
Who'd you see it with?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
Who else am I going to go see that with, Sammy?
That feels like a movie for the boy.
Go with my boys? You want us to all go see a Sydney Sweeney flick?
Gave me a great idea. The boys are going to see The Housemaid.
I honestly kind of liked it. The acting was pretty terrible. The writing was pretty awful.
Don't disrespect Sydney like that.
But everything you wanted out of that movie, you got. I'll just say that. 913, I can hear the quotes now. Craig Stammen is excellence. 913 also said, I wish Craig Stammen the best, but I'm skeptical as it seems like an in-house yes man option, hoping he can be manager of the year for a World Series in San Diego.
To that point, 913, it feels like the whole Preller not having a deal yet is odd because remember, Preller picked Stammen. Preller was the guy who went to Stammen and said, I'd like you to throw your hat in the ring for this job because they didn't like all the external options. It just seems so odd the Padres organization is letting AJ Preller, and I like AJ Preller a lot. I hope he remains the GM of the Padres, but making decisions on who the manager is, personnel decisions, and yet he's not locked down for the future in a contract.
Kevin will join us in a little bit, who is going to be talking about the press conference that Craig Stammen held earlier today. We'll get Kevin Acee's ideas on this Padres season, but let's hear from Craig Stammen a little bit if we can. He had his first availability of the season so far out in Peoria this morning. I'm sure you could check out a bunch of it online. We got a couple of sound bites here. Craig Stammen was asked about this Padres roster and if he's comfortable with how it is right now or if he wants to see some changes heading into the next season.
Yeah, we got a great group of players. Top to bottom, we've got a pretty good roster that we feel like can compete for, any number of goals throughout the season. Is it the final roster? We know AJ. AJ's always got something up his sleeve. We've seen in years past. We've signed Dylan Cease the day before we left for Korea. We signed Nick Pivetta last year, middle of February. So don't put anything past him. And I know he's continually working and trying to, fill out our roster and make it as best we can at the start of opening day.
We'll see if AJ Preller has anything up his sleeve, but he's right. This is kind of Preller-esque how this offseason is going.
It is a fair point.
He waits and waits and waits, and then at the end, a name we haven't heard of, like Miguel Andujar, was not a name we heard of coming to the Padres.
Right, that wasn't even reported. I don't remember that even being linked to.
Like right now, the latest reports are Zach Gallen, and Padres are a list of with the Orioles and a couple other teams as the finalists to get Zach Gallen.
That would be a huge addition.
It'd be huge, but knowing AJ Preller, that's probably not the name that ends up with the Padres.
Right, because it's been Verlander's been linked a lot, which I never liked because you need someone who throws bulk innings, right? And he's ancient, but he's went back to Detroit. Framer Valdez got taken off the board. Now I don't know if he was the high ticket free agent. I don't know if he was ever going to be an option. What are you smiling about?
With Verlander, you do get Kate Upton also coming to San Diego. We have beaches, Sammy. Let's hear from Craig Stammen one more time. He was also asked during this media availability today about the hitting philosophy. So there's a new hitting coach in town with the Padres. He's a young one. And what are the Padres going to be thinking at the plate this year to fix the slug problems from a year ago, the left on base problems from a year ago? Let's hear from the head coach.
Score as many runs as possible. That'd be a good philosophy. There's like little details to it too, but in the end, we're judged by the score at the end of the game, and offense is judged by how many runs that they can create. And we're going to do everything we can to create as many runs as possible.
I like Craig Stammen so far, but that was a whole lot of nothing. PR answer.
Let's score a lot of runs.
The goal is to score runs and actually score more than the other team. And then at the end, if you have more, you win. If you have less, you lose.
Steven Souza has got a lot on his plate this year. I think also Craig Stammen called Steven Souza a whippersnapper when he was talking about him, which the new hitting coach for the Padres is a whippersnapper, apparently. So we'll see. We're going to have some fun with Craig Stammen as a personality, I think, though. Because I like this better than Mike Schiltz interviews.
Mike Schiltz.
Can I just say that?
100%. 100%.
Like Craig Stammen at least sounded like a real human being. Mike Schiltz kind of sounded like a robot at times.
And Mike Schiltz annoyed me how reporters would ask legitimate questions about lineup changes.
What?
Right.
What?
I'm like,
these are my guys.
I understand being loyal to your players. That's great. And that you want the head of the snake to be the guy kind of taking the straight bullets. But to a point, there's also a point where it's like this guy hasn't produced in a month, and yet you're so stuck on your philosophy of how you want to play the lineup and not change it, where then you're a detriment to the team. So sounds like Craig Stammen hopefully is not that. Hopefully he's not really a puppet, considering he played with a lot of these guys. I hope he kind of lays the hammer down, but we'll see as the season gets going.
That's the weird part to me. All right, what are the biggest problems facing the Padres? We'll get into that on the other side, plus give you an update on what's going on with Team USA in the Olympics. That's next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport's sponsored by Unbound.org. SDFC back on the pitch tonight against Pumas in the second leg. SDFC currently leading 4-1 on aggregate. Their current dogs in this game at plus 380 with the draw being plus 340. And Pumas is minus 160 on the money line. Lake Show back in action tonight after a 9-point loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Last night, they're back taking on the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio, early 9.5-point favorite in that one. That game is going at 7:30 from Los Angeles. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. This is for your guy Keon White.
Is this the rapper?
This is Lil Baby. This is Whoa.
This is Lil Baby? San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletch and Sammy along with you. Speaking of Lil Baby, 615. I don't think he was the one that shot Keon White.
No, there was an argument at Lil Baby's party, and there were
No, it was at Keon White's party.
Lil Baby was there?
They tried to deny entrance to Lil Baby and his entourage. I'm way out of my waters here talking, but that's what happened.
Why is he denying Lil Baby entry in the party?
They were at capacity, Sammy. Very strict rules and regulations go into place. Do you want the fire marshal called?
You got to have this banger. Come on.
615 texting in saying, damn, Fletch, you guys have 2 active wide receivers on your roster who have been shot. Actually, Keon White's a defensive end, and bump that number up one. We got 3. Brian Robinson Jr., Ricky Pearsall, and now Keon White. Who has more streak cred than the 49ers?
If only Debo was back, dude, it would be like the ultimate.
Has Debo been shot also?
No, Debo, remember, would walk out to NBA Youngboy, and he'd always
with
put
the big boom
box, and he'd throw up gun stuff on the way out.
Who has more street cred than the Niners? That's all I'm saying. I've been shot with a paintball gun, Sammy, and an what are those called? Airsoft gun.
And the Niners spending too much time hanging with rappers.
Bang Bang Niner Gang. That's what they do. E40. It's San Diego Sports.
I'm surprised Brock Purdy wasn't there with Lil Baby.
I know. Brock's just a family guy. He's out on the farm.
913 says, was John Morant at the party too? Sounds like his jam.
I mean, they need to trade John, right? Welcome him on.
Welcome to Golden State, baby.
Yeah, you could be bring him on the Niners. Let him play wide receiver or something.
He'd probably be fantastic.
He'd be fast, but let him return punts. I mean, he'd get blown up.
You get that vertical, go up and get some balls.
There's not like, imagine basketball players taking one NFL hit. They break in half.
Oh yeah.
Basketball players are so skinny. Their legs are so tiny.
That was funny when that debate was going on when NBA guys thought that they could play in the NFL and NFL guys thought they could play in the NBA.
I do think it'd be easier for an NFL guy to play in the NBA.
Yeah, you could have some receivers like Tyreek Hill in his prime could definitely have played.
I don't know about Tyreek. He's too short.
Have you seen him on the court?
He's good.
He's got
really
some
good.
videos of his vert.
I actually think tight ends would have an easier job.
Yeah, like
an easier time.
Like Kittle, Kelsey, guys like that would have been good.
They'd be great rebounders. Yeah.
The only guy in the NBA that would have been a fantastic tight end was LeBron. LeBron would have been a beast tight end.
Or speaking of Lil Baby or Big Baby, how about Big Baby Glenn Davis?
Yeah,
he could have played some D line.
61484 says Lil Airsoft Fletch.
Dude, I was a beast on the airsoft course, man. We used to do that all the time back in Merced.
We're gonna get you some face tats, dude. Then you'll be ready to go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can be gangsta, Sammy. You have no idea. I'm cool. All right, San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy along with you till 2 o'clock today. We just heard from Craig Stammen. All right, honest reaction. If we are giving Craig Stammen 100%, you're new. You got this, dude. Like, how are we grading that first press conference? Because honestly, I'm going to give him an 8 or 9 out of 10.
I'm not going to be too hard on him as first press conference.
He seems like a nice guy.
To the point you made last segment, which I think is very valid. It's anything is better than Mike Schilt. So
Schultz was just so cringy, man. And it was like adorable for the first couple of weeks, but then it just became who he was and it just got awkward.
And then it got he got more agitated as the season went on.
Then all of a sudden there were like hit pieces out on Mike Schilt.
I know that I
some weird time.
I hope there's a 30 for 30 that comes out in about 10 years. About the
Padres, the Mike Schilt era with the Padres was bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill him. Look, it was very PR friendly, very, rah. But hey, the Padres could use a little bit of that right now, especially with all the drama going on with the Preller contract, sale of the team. So I thought Stammen handled it well, but we'll see what happens. The true test of a good coach or manager is when they lose 4 straight in the middle of July How are you responding at the presser?
Or how about 7th inning of a 1-run game? What moves are you making?
Right.
Like, that's what you get judged on, right? Phillip Rivers always said it about quarterbacks. 3rd and 7, everyone knows you're passing it. Are you going to come up with a big play in that moment?
Exactly.
And by the way, we didn't see a whole lot of quarterbacks doing that outside of Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold this postseason, which was a problem in this postseason. But for a baseball manager, what are you going to do in the 7th inning when you're down 1 run? What moves are you going to make? What buttons are you going to push in your bullpen and in your lineup to get your team a win and pull a win out of a loss?
And I'm curious what JJ Redick had to deal with this with the Lakers, considering he was brought in by LeBron and never been a head coach outside of an AAU team. The big question everyone had in LA was, what's going to happen when someone gets ejected, someone starts complaining, LeBron at the media?
One of your former teammates, by the way.
One of your former teammates. So,
and your podcast co-host somehow.
JJ Redick, I'll actually give a lot of props for actually being hard on the team. He's pretty brutal on him. Craig Stammen. We've heard Manny Machado praise him. We've heard a lot of the stars praise him, which is great. It's awesome that Tatis and Machado and these guys are behind him. But at the same time, when it's time to have a tough conversation about someone slumping in the middle of June or July, and it might not be the most popular manager in the clubhouse because of the decisions you have to make, that's when we're going to really be able to grade Craig Stammen, because that was Mike Schilt's downfall. He was loyal to a fault. I mean, reporters would give him facts, not even probing questions like Luis Arraez has been terrible with runners in scoring position. Are you consider Manny Machado was going through that brutal slump? Are you going to consider moving up the lineup card? And it was just no, it's my way or the highway. I hope Craig Stammen does not have that same kind of mindset going forward.
Also, the biggest questions facing Craig Stammen, who again, first-time manager, and I don't know how much of this is going to be left up to him. Like, Ruben Niebla is still in the clubhouse, which is a good thing for the Padres. But how is the pitching rotation going to change? Are you going to let guys go a little longer than Mike Shildt? Are you going to have a tighter leash on guys than Mike Shildt? There are so many questions that need to be answered for the Padres, and we won't know until the season starts. But I'm just super curious about it. Look, first-time coaches in any sport, it's a rough awakening for you when you first get in and all of a sudden the decisions are on your plate. I don't know how much is going to be left up to Craig Stammen. If I had a bingo card for things I wanted to see Craig Stammen do in year one, let's go a year without having the entire clubhouse turn on each other and see how that works. And then past that, what are you going to do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings?
I'm curious to that end. Last year down the stretch, it was like the fact that the Padres had such a good bullpen almost became a crutch.
And the bullpen was worn out by the time they got to the postseason.
100%. It was like this bullpen it was so exciting, and we were all obviously covering the team when it happened, and people wanted to see the bullpen. People were excited for that kind of dynamic 4 or 5.
Right, but you went like 3 weeks in a row where every game, the 5th inning had the bullpen coming in.
They're all taxed, and then you saw by the time the postseason rolled around,
Jason Adam got hurt late down the stretch, and it was bad.
Estrada was unbelievable for the first 2-3 months of the season. Felt like after that Dodger series where he got crushed off the Dodgers, he was never the same. You can't expect these guys to just hold up their arms all season. You have to have starters give you length where you're able to give guys days off where there's not a quote rest day. That's why a 5th starter is so crucial for them to get. If it's Zach Gallen, I think that'd be fantastic. There's a couple other names out there who would work, but you gotta help out your bullpen. That can't be. Great bullpens don't matter if you can't get them a lead going to the bullpen.
All right, baseball season. So this just popped into my head because we're talking about it and I really want some. Favorite flavor of sunflower seed? Hit us up, 70470. Start your message with team.
I'm not a sunflower seed guy.
Oh, I'm a big cracked pepper guy. Big cracked pepper guy.
I'm a
brand
peanut.
is Spitz, SPITZ. Oh, big cracked pepper guy.
I'm a big peanut at the ballpark guy and beer.
You look like a peanut at the ballpark type of guy.
What is that a diss?
Yeah, it's a diss. You're a big peanut at the ballpark.
Are you calling me like
guy.
a 90 years old?
You probably get out your at-home score sheet also, hon. You sit there with your binder and you collect them all. Do you have a 3-hole punch, Sammy?
I sync up the radio to my earpiece.
I bet you do. I bet you do. But yeah, what's your favorite flavor of sunflower seeds? Hit us up, 70470. Start your message with the word team. Big cracked pepper guy myself. Get any dill pickle away from me.
You were clowning me last year for getting an acai bowl at a game.
I can't believe, well, yeah, that, and you don't bring your baseball glove like a total loser.
No,
You're like, I'm too cool for this.
No, I don't. Listen, that has been the hottest debated topic on this show.
I'm too cool to bring a baseball glove to a baseball game.
No, it's a lame thing to do. If you're, it's for little kids. If you're 12 years old, bring a glove. If you're a grown-ass man and you're sitting there walking through the turnstile with your glove, checking in, I mean, I'm sorry. We got to have a real conversation
Hell yeah.
about how we etiquette at a ball game.
Hell yeah, you bring the baseball glove. You got to protect the people around you, Sammy. You got to get those foul balls. They're coming at you hot.
Outside of protecting your child, you barehand that thing like a man, and if you catch it in a beer cup, you get extra points.
Yeah, and then deal with a broken hand. That's the real manly
Yeah, but
thing
then
to do.
you end up on
Break
sports.
your hand.
No
Are you
one
insane.
No one ended up on Sports Center catching it with a glove.
Not true. My buddy Peter ended up on Sports Center circa like 2016 because he picked it. He picked it. It was like a one hopper coming down hot down the first base line. This was before they put the safety nets in.
Well, that's cool, but he had a glove.
He had a glove.
It would have been cooler if he picked it without a glove.
Top 10 on Sports Center. Have you ever been on Top 10 on Sports Center?
I have not.
don't think so, Sammy.
It's my life goal one day.
Maybe you'll get there one day, but not today because you don't bring your glove. It's San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, we'll take just top 50 on Sports Center if you can get us a freaking winner coming up later tonight with long shots. By the way, Team USA kicking Canada's ass right now 4-0.
Yeah. Shout out to the U.S. women.
Dude, the U.S. women are dominating this game, physically outmatching Canada in every aspect of it, taking advantage of our power plays, making sure the offsides go in our favor, baby. That's my hockey talk for
You
today.
should have stopped after the power play.
I know, damn it. I got too far into the weeds. But Team USA is winning 4-0.
Make sure our offsides go our way.
Stacking up on some gold medals. We've been lacking over the last couple days here. So Team USA is winning.
I've been digging the Olympics, man.
Same. I've had a great time. Watched some freestyle skiing yesterday, which Team USA got
I watched
silver in.
that. Did you watch? I was watching the figure skating last night.
Sure. I watched Jake Paul's girlfriend in speed skating
I watched
dominate the field. Have you ever seen a more stunning woman in your life? Be honest.
She's very attractive.
She's gorgeous beyond belief. My wife was sitting there like, that is the prettiest woman on the planet. And I said, no, sweetheart, you are. It's San Diego Sports 760. Long shots coming up next. Sammy's going to make us all some money live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 today. John Schaefer's going to take over then. And we got 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every single weekday with the bonus bucks giveaway every hour from 6 to 6. Listen for the keyword. Enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock. Sammy, did you see the little NBA report that came out yesterday?
About expansion.
It sounds like they are going to vote this upcoming offseason, and they are going to approve an expansion. And as of right now, Seattle and Vegas are the two teams most likely to get the teams, which we've known that for a while, right? But it sounds like it's going to get pushed through this upcoming offseason.
It's those two cities, having lived in Seattle for a few years, they love their Supersonics, so that them getting a team back, they'll love that team. And in Vegas was kind of always thought of as a city that couldn't support home teams because it's such a tourist city, and with the city care and the Golden Knights, the Raiders, now the A's. I mean, they're kind of getting everything. So Vegas getting an NBA team makes a lot of sense. I'm just curious. Both those teams are going to be in the Western Conference. Who moves to the East? Because Minnesota, Memphis, New Orleans, like. The problem is the West right now is a lot better than the Eastern Conference. So if you move New Orleans and Memphis, kind of two bottom feeder teams, making the West harder. I'm curious if the NBA has the guts to move a Minnesota. I doubt they would move an Oklahoma City amid their dynasty from the West to the East, but geographically would make a little sense.
Off the top of my head, I'm not positive what the rules on expansion are, like how you fill up your roster in the first year. Is it like other sports for the NBA?
There'll be an expansion draft.
There's going to be an expansion draft, so they would be able to pick. Teams will be able to hold on to a certain number of players that cannot be drafted, but you get to pick from the rest.
Right. So I know like hockey and
hockey seemed to do it the best. Like Vegas Golden Knights were competitive immediately
because I believe you had to make 3 players available, and one of the players had to make a certain amount of money. Right. So you couldn't just make 3 scrubs on the end of your bench available and they didn't care. But yeah, I mean, Vegas and Seattle could get good fast because
maybe the Grizzlies are like, yeah, we'll just wait for Ja. We'll make him available for the expansion.
Take him off our books.
And go to Vegas, Ja. That's a great idea.
Ja Morant in Vegas. Could you imagine that?
Problem. All right, YouTube is blowing up. Nobody seems to agree with me that you should wear a glove at a baseball game.
Jay Silv
says got a barehanded, although he spelled bear like a grizzly bear. So can you really trust an illiterate person, Jay Silv? He also said raw dog them home runs. Okay, using a beer cup is the other acceptable way.
Jay Silv's the man. Jay Silv palms that thing.
Yeah, Jay Silv's also just can't spell. 484 homeschooled virgins bring gloves to a ballpark. Oh my
God, 484.
Yeah, very funny. And 484 is trying to also get us canceled. So we're going to maybe keep some of those. Handyman Matt, pipe down over there. All right.
Our text line is beautiful. 70470. Start your message with team. I have to always do a double take.
Yeah, Sammy, why don't you just take a pause on the text line? Don't read any of them as of right now because there's some landmines out there, my man. You stay clear.
I'll take the dump button ready.
Yeah. All right, let's get to long shots here today. What 1 for 3? Was that the official count yesterday?
We had a tough day yesterday.
Which means 1 for your last 6.
The Nuggets were going to win the game until James Harden went in his bag last night and Cleveland came back down 8 with 2 minutes to go.
These apps love to see Sammy Long coming. They're like,
no, I was on a heater.
Sammy, keep telling everybody exactly what to bet. This is going so well. Let's get a good one today. Here we go. Long shot smash.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance.
Pay that man his money.
With long shots.
I honestly don't know where my baseball glove is right now. I might have to do some digging.
Now, I'll tell you what's an even more embarrassing thing is if you take your ass to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a glove on your way to the ballpark. That's something.
That couldn't possibly go well. It wouldn't be broken in yet, Sammy. You got to treat a new baseball glove like you got to treat it right. You got to oil it up. You got to sleep on it a couple times. You stick it under your mattress. You lay down on top of it while it's wrapped up under a belt. You got to do a lot of things with a new baseball glove.
Keep it PG, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling the truth. You put a softball inside the baseball glove first, so it's a little bit bigger. You wrap it up with a belt, nice and tight.
I'm in a softball league, real sidebar, and I was in the outfield, and I was like, I thought I was going to Fernando Tatis this ball last week, and I was like excited. It got hit to me, completely overshot it.
I would love to be in a softball league.
It's fun. Tell you the invite. All right, so we got 3-leg parlay. We got 2 NBA picks, 1 college basketball pick.
Can we bet on your softball league?
over on miss whiff balls from Sammy Long.
I would like that.
Clippers Rockets. Give me Clippers in the points. Plus 8.5 in Houston. Listen, I get Houston's a very good team, and they have a lot of length. They're the tallest starting lineup in the league. But Steven Adams is out. Fred VanVleet is out. Beal's been out for most of the year for the Clippers. Darius Garland is still out, their new acquisition. But Kawhi Leonard still playing excellent. You got Benedict Mathurin, who is now playing for the Clippers.
Benedict Mathurin.
They got a lot of talent on this Clippers team, and again, we keep doubting them. They're like 20-6 in their last 26 games, and some of these games have been without James Harden. James Harden, yes, is a loss in terms of scoring, and he's been an excellent point guard for the team. But this team, I mean, you got some young talent on coming off the bench. I think they cover plus 8.5 tonight, especially coming off a big win against Minnesota. They're going to cover the spread. All right.
Sorry, what was the bet? I completely stopped listening.
Plus 8.5 for the Clippers on the road in Houston tonight.
Okay.
All right. Spurs Lakers under 226.5 points. It's going to be a rough night for my Lakers. Not going to lie. The spread is too big right now at 9.5. The Lakers can backdoor cover that, but Luka is still out. They could be saving him till the end of the All-Star break with only 2 games remaining. Reeves is a game time decision on potential rest. We'll see if LeBron even plays in this one. I don't see the Lakers scoring a ton of points tonight, and we do know they give up a lot of points on the other end. So we're going to go under. I think the Spurs could get up big in this one, rest for the fourth quarter, and we're going to hit that under by a lot, under 226.5. I hope my Lakers have a good showing, but in all honesty, I think we're hitting the under. I don't think the Lakers score over 100 tonight, under 226.5 points. Then we're going to college basketball. North Carolina, Miami. North Carolina, a 1.5 point favorite on the road in Miami. Give us Miami money line. Okay. Coming off the biggest win of the season against Duke. That was their Super Bowl. They've been fantastic. I mean, the Duke starting 5 is obviously very young, and Caleb Wilson, when he's been able to do it at North Carolina, one of the most exciting freshmen in the entire sport. But Miami getting points at home. Miami's been fantastic. They have 4 guys who averaged double-digit points this year. Trey Donaldson has been fantastic for them, the transfer guard coming in this year, and Uday Jr. averaging about 10 rebounds per game. I think they're going to be able to dominate North Carolina on the glass tonight. Getting points at home. Give me plus 1.5. Screw that. Give me them on the money line. Miami wins tonight after a little bit of a lackluster follow-up performance for North Carolina after the win at Duke on Saturday. So Miami money line tonight in college basketball. Give me the Clippers laying a big number, plus 8.5. We'll take the points with the Clippers and the under on Lakers Spurs. Lakers resting a lot of their guys tonight, coming off the back-to-back against Oklahoma City, under 226.5 points.
I placed it, and I'm going to have faith in Sammy. I don't love the Miami pick.
I love the Miami
make that
pick.
known.
Why? They're coming off an emotional win on the road in Miami.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and all that makes sense, and it kind of sets up for it. But North Carolina's freaking good, man.
They are, but Miami is a veteran-laden team, and I think you see this a lot.
Yeah.
Coming off emotional win.
I see the logic.
Duke, North Carolina. Biggest game of the season so far for North Carolina. Duke.
Sure.
North Carolina trying to prove against Duke why they should be getting the headlines and not the Boozer twins.
Sure.
I like Miami in this game.
Okay. Faith in Sammy. That's where we're going. This is a pretty big KenPom differential. I think Miami's somewhere like 41, 42.
KenPom doesn't
around
know
San Diego State.
nothing.
KenPom has North Carolina up in the top 15, top 16.
Does KenPom have Sammy Long metrics? I don't think so.
Not yet. Coming soon to a KenPom near you. It's San Diego Sports 760, Hour 2, and Kevin Acee's coming up next live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Audible. The sport is sponsored by Audible. SDFC back in action tonight, taking on Pumas. They won last week 4-1, so they're up 4-1 on aggregate. They'll be back tonight at 5:00 for the second leg. SDFC is currently plus 380 on the money line. The draw is plus 340, and Pumas is minus 160. And the Lakers are back tonight, taking on the San Antonio Spurs, live from Crypto in LA. Spurs are 9.5-point favorites in that one. Luka will be out, and Austin Reeves is a game time decision. That game is at 7:30. If you're spending today outside, take care of you with the help of the top voices in well-being on Audible. Get your first audiobook free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com/wellbeing.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Sound off like you got a pair.
Now that football is over, does it sound desperate to say we're only 212 days away from next season?
That guy sounds weird.
Spring training is days away, and maybe the sale of the Padres. Plus, is an AJ Preller deal near? We're at the halfway point of the NBA season.
Here is a steal by Lebron. Here he goes. He's on a breakaway. Slam dunk.
And the Aztecs get ready for more Mountain West play and the madness. Also,
Denver money line tonight.
This isn't happening.
Give us the Timberwolves to cover the spread against Atlanta with Kuminga and a couple of these guys out, minus 8.5.
Well, you better ask somebody.
Kansas, Arizona, big college basketball game. Give us the under 153.5.
That's not going to work.
look at it this way. In baseball, going 1 of 3 get you in the Hall of Fame. Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, we enter the Fletch Zone.
It's hour number 2 on San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John Schaefer is going to take over then. Hey, it's the return of the Mac, or at least the Mac Daddy, Kevin Acee himself.
Kevin.
He's coming back for another Padres season as our Padres insider. He'll be on coming up at 1:30 with us in just a little bit. We got a lot to talk to Kevin about, as the first time we've heard Craig Stammen in Peoria was earlier today. Kevin was part of that scrum. So we'll get Kev's thoughts on how the Padres' new manager sounded.
It's nice we were able to lock AC down. I hear him on John all the time. I'm like, where,
Kev is with us. He's going to be with us every Tuesday at 1:30 from now until probably the Padres are hosting the World Series banner at the end of the season.
Sounds good.
So that's our plan for Kev. We'll lock down a day with Coach as well for Padres season. What did we do last year with Coach? Was it Thursdays?
Thursdays at 1:30.
Thursdays at 1:30?
We'll check with Coach, but that might have to come back.
Okay, I like it a lot. But Kev is the plan is to have Kevin on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 1:30 throughout Padres season here. So that'll be at 1:30 today. In the meantime, Sammy, we did this on the morning show over on 101.5 KGB, and you and I have talked about it a little bit. Why don't we let the text line go for this last hour here? Most iconic movie line. Meaning, like, you hear the line, it immediately takes you back to the movie when you first saw it. I honestly thought I had the best one this morning, not trying to brag a little bit here, but you're killing me, Smalls. From The Sandlot. As soon as you hear it, everybody knows exactly what it is, takes you back to the movie, takes you back to the feel-good story that is The Sandlot. You got one, Sammy?
Can I give you maybe the greatest line ever uttered in a movie of all time?
Are you going to play it?
I said forget about it, cuz.
Dude, Too Fast, Too Furious, Paul Walker. It takes me right back to it. I know exactly where you're going. Paul Walker, he was talking to Tyrese.
This is my actually
kidding me, cut.
Now there's a bunch of Scarface ones that we can't play.
Let me say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend.
Even though he doesn't really say little, he more says little.
He goes, is this it? Again, everyone who watched Scarface knows the scene. The dinner scene, fantastic. I would go this one.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Tombstone. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer should have won an Oscar for that.
Are you the only 23-year-old on the planet who's seen Tombstone a million times enough to bring out one line in Tombstone?
Because I'm a cultured human being.
It is funny, but yeah, you let me know. 619 says, talk to me, Goose. Use it daily, hear it daily. Takes me back to my childhood. That's from Top Gun.
Very solid pick, Quack.
Also, Val Kilmer, right? No, it's Maverick, I guess, of that movie. It's Tom Cruise's character.
484 says, now you can't leave, a Bronx Tale.
I don't know if I know that one.
Very solid quote. Very solid quote.
That one, 484. I apologize. I was pretty good this morning. Johnny Drama. How about are you not entertained? Russell Crowe.
Of course, Gladiator.
How about the name one line from The Godfather? It'll probably work, but an offer he can't refuse. That's classic.
Give you an offer you can't refuse.
How about, what did I say yesterday? It was the Johnny Depp one. Oh, why is the rum gone?
Dude, great one.
That's a little bit of a deep shot. How about Step Brothers? I'm not calling you dad, not even if there's a fire.
He goes, Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that mother something.
She's had the old bull.
She wants the young
It's time
cat.
for the young cat. 858 Terminator. I'll be back.
Of course.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them.
I was watching Superbad with my boys last night. Superbad has some unbelievable quotes in that.
A real triumphant. Never mind. All right, let's get to the big three.
The
here
one
of hour
early in the
number
movie that you're thinking about is 100% it.
So Steve Hartman had never seen that movie, Superbad.
Oh, what?
And Rich and I found that out one day. So during a commercial break, I remember adding like 5 spots to a commercial break to make it long enough to show him the entire Jonah Hill sequence when he's a little kid and he's drawing the pictures and it's in his special lunchbox. And Steve, dude, I've never, like, Steve, even when he's laughing, isn't like rolling on the floor laughing.
No, yeah.
He couldn't compose himself for 20 minutes, Sammy. He was just laughing his ass off. One of the best moments ever.
Steve Hartman.
He'll be back with us on Friday at 1:30.
You know what's real quick? You know what's an underrated Jonah Hill movie?
Tell me.
Get Into the Greek.
I like that
it's
movie.
the all canceled cast with Puffy and
Russell Brand.
And Russell Brand, but it is a hilarious movie if you take away the actors in the movie.
What was the movie Jonah Hill did with Miles Teller? I actually really liked it.
War Dogs.
War Dogs.
Great movie.
Solid flick. I
Very
liked it
good
a lot.
film.
I don't know about any quotes from that movie, but I like the movie.
21 Jump Street was unbelievable.
Dude, 21, the second one, was it 22 Jump Street?
Were they in college?
With the scene where Ice Cube puts it all together, or that Jonah Hill puts it all together,
yeah.
that it's Ice Cube's daughter. I've never laughed harder in a movie theater than that scene.
Flew in on the red eye.
Jamar is saying, "What's in the box?" Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Sorry, everybody.
Whoa.
I know. The
movie came out in the 90s.
Movie came out in like 97. I'm sorry. All right, Sammy, let's get to the big three of hour number 2, where Sammy rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Again, 484. Yes, it's a great line. And Jack Nicholson delivered it perfectly. We cannot read it on the air. But it's from The Departed. It's when he's talking about cranberry juice. You know the line. Sammy, where do you want to go in sports?
I have to like, we need someone hired and everyone apply for this job that's just reading the text line and deeming what texts are okay for air and what texts are not.
This is actually great from the 619, from When Harry Met Sally. I'll have what she's having.
Yes, great one.
Great one.
619, because it's Friday and you ain't got blank to do.
That used to be in our Bar Car Friday open, that soundbite.
That's Chris Tucker on Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great film. What's the woman across the street that the pastor's into?
Damn! That one?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You ever seen Booty Call with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson?
Can't say that I have.
Great film.
What's in sports?
Hey, guys, we're a sports show. Can we get serious?
USA.
Okay.
4-0, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, hell yeah.
Team USA ladies moving on to the playoff round in the Olympics.
Yes, sir. Let's go to the Padres real quick. What is the biggest question mark with this Padres team entering the season? Number 1, ownership selling the team. Number 2, Preller not signing his contract. Number 3, lack of a 5th starter. Or number 4, lack of an extra bat.
Okay.
Or other.
Yeah, what's kind of crazy is mine is other. Mine really is other at this point. I have high hopes for Craig Stammen, but the biggest problem facing this Padres team right now in terms of what's going to happen on the field this year is the lack of experience in a manager. Again, in Major League Baseball in 2026, who knows how much a manager actually does, but it's a pretty freaking important job. And Craig Stammen has 0 experience at it. So while I think he's going to do a good job, and all reports are that he was born to be a manager, even more so than he was a pitcher, there are concerns about having a first-year head coach, especially with some of the head cases that you have on the San Diego Padres. So how could it not be? Like the AJ Preller thing, I do think will eventually figure itself out. If he doesn't want to be here, he's not going to be here. If he doesn't want to sign a contract, he wants to test free agency as a general manager, he's not going to sign a contract. The ownership thing, that's happening 10 levels above anybody on the field. The fact that you have a first-time manager, that is clear and present danger, my friends. Speaking of great movies, Harrison Ford.
Look at that.
That is a clear and present danger for the Padres this year. And again, 7th inning, you're down 1 run. What buttons are you going to push? That's what needs to be found out about these Padres.
Oh, there's so many good ones rolling on the text line.
Focus, Sammy.
Okay. I'm going to go with the fifth starter because I believe ownership, right, to your point, that's out of the player's control. Like the players at the end of the day, that's going to go away during the season. Like every night at the press conference, they're not going to be being asked about the ownership problems or them selling the team. Preller's contract, I do think will get worked out. I think they do have enough bats. We'll see if Andahar can kind of recapture his rookie season in 2018 where he looked like a future star.
I want 20 home runs from Andahar.
Don't we all?
That makes the $4 million worth it.
Lack of fifth starter. Right now, they have a solid base of starting pitching. Joe Musgrove, everyone's excited he's back, but he's coming off an injury. You cannot expect Joe Musgrove to be one of your frontline starters for the bulk of the summer. In the playoffs, yes, because he has the talent to be an ace. You need to bring him along slowly. You're also counting on Nick Pivetta having the exact same season he had last year, which was unbelievable, and Michael King staying healthy. So that's really three right there. Randy Vasquez is fine for the summer, not for the playoffs. You got to count on some of these guys getting hurt. Unfortunately, it's baseball. It's a long season. You have to go sign a legit fifth starter, a Zach Gallen, somebody you can go out there and get that can carry some bulk innings and hopefully get you in the playoffs. We have a nice little rotation of four there. I hope the Padres pounce on it before it's not too late. All right, we're heading to the NFL.
Don't you think that one's going to get figured out, though?
I hope.
Like Preller's, they're going to make a move by the time the season starts. If they don't, we got a serious problem on our hands.
100%.
But they're going to make a move by the time the season starts for another pitcher, I would think.
NFL Super Bowl champ DeMarcus Lawrence, pass rusher for the Seattle Seahawks, says on asked about not winning with the Dallas Cowboys during the early part of his career, says, quote, "I don't even have to worry about that no more." Are these fair or foul comments from DeMarcus Lawrence? And do you think what are your thoughts on Dallas heading into next year, a year after the Michael Parsons trade?
It is kind of crazy to me that people like Dan Orlovsky and Sammy Long are predicting Super Bowl runs for the Dallas Cowboys.
Whoa, I didn't say they're going to the Super Bowl.
Nope, yeah, Sammy said they're going to be really, really good.
I didn't say that.
I will say that Jerry Jones has made plenty of people in the media, probably including me, look a little foolish with the Micah Parsons trade. It seems like the best thing Dallas could have done was trade Micah Parsons. Now, I'll stand by the fact that he should have done it 5 months before he did it.
Well, 100%. I think everyone thinks that.
Ahead of the last year's draft. But getting Kenny Clark in seemed to be a great move for them this past year. If they can continue to build the run defense through this year's draft, really, if they could continue to build the defense, period, and you probably need some replacements on the offensive line. The main pieces are in place. Quarterback, check. Running game might need a little bit of a facelift. Wide receiver game, check. Tight end game, check. Defense is starting to come into form. They're in the right direction. I don't know if I'm even calling playoffs this year, but they're close. They're in that conversation.
I think Dallas is a playoff team. I did not say that they're going to the Super Bowl. Don't put words in my mouth. But the Dallas Cowboys, people are forgetting. It's easy to hate on the Dallas Cowboys. If you are not a Cowboy fan, most people don't like the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, we saw what he did last year. People forgot about him the year before because of him getting hurt. He was in the MVP conversation the year before that. This team has a lot of talent on it. CeeDee Lamb, they got to figure out the running game a little bit, but we'll see if George Pickens is back. But finally, Jerry Jones is realizing you don't build a football team around 4 to 5 players. You build a collective team. Look at the Seahawks. Seahawks don't even have a ton of stars on their defense. They just have a collective group of guys who are very talented. They got rid of Micah for draft picks. Kenny Clark, I like what they were able to do there in Quinnen Williams. We'll see what happens to George Pickens if he's back. But rebuilding this defense, actually creating a defense instead of just multiple stars in Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons, that didn't work out. So them moving on, I think, was a big opportunity for them. And then it's like a Philly. I mean, is Philly, they're keep running the same thing back. It didn't work this year, so why would it work next year? The Giants will be better. Washington will bounce back. But the Dak Prescott.
You got Cam Scatterbo guaranteeing a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, well, Cam Scatterbo's been hitting the head a lot. But I do think the New York Giants will be a lot better next year. All right, quickly, last story. Regardless of what you think about the UFC hosting a card on the White House lawn, which I think is kind of crazy, but it is happening in June or July. I forget the dates. The schedule is coming out tomorrow. So apparently they are matchmaking currently right now to launch the schedule. What is your dream fight, Ben Fletcher, on the White House lawn in the summer?
Well, my dream fight's not going to happen. It'd be John Jones versus either Stipe or Pereira, like somebody. and John Jones on the White House lawn.
You want to see Stipe? Stipe is old.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I want to see John Jones in that fight is who I want to see, but I don't think it's going to be able to happen at all. So it might be too quick a turnaround for Sugar Sean, but I would like to see an American like a Dustin Poirier, somebody big at the top of that card. Here's the thing. I try to go through most of my life like this. Like I take politics out of almost every single conversation I have because it bores me and it's annoying and nothing good is happening in the world politically anywhere, it feels like. So what I try to do is think about this. It's kind of badass that there's going to be fights on the White House front lawn. Like if you take politics completely out of it, like the spectacle, if they do it right, is going to be sick, right? Like the Sphere thing was badass when the UFC did it. I do think this is going to be really cool. Dana White's not really in the habit of making things look bad. He's usually in the habit of making things look pretty awesome. I think if they do it right, this is going to be kind of amazing. But yeah, give me an American at the top of the card, and I don't really care which one.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a spectacle. Regardless of who's in office, would prefer. It just seems kind of disrespectful to the White House to be having like a.
Well, the guy in office is the one who wants it.
No, I know. It just feels like odd, regardless of who the president is. But it is happening. So I'm excited I'm with you on Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is a fun, fan-friendly fighter. The Conor McGregor fight would be a spectacle, but Conor McGregor hasn't fought in years, and his last fight, I believe, was Cowboy Cerrone. So
can you actually rely on him to show up? Even if you have him booked as a day of, you might be worried about him not showing up, which is the same problem with John Jones.
I would like to see Poirier and him. I think that'd be a fun all-action fight. It would sell. They're both great talkers, and then obviously Tom Aspinall just had eye surgery, so I don't think it's going to happen.
Can you get Holloway? Get a BMF belt on this thing?
So he's fighting in a couple weeks. I like to see Sugar Sean on the card. We'll see who he could go after, him trying to rebuild his career. But I'm with you. I like to see Michael Chandler. He's been out of the game for too long, held up by this Conor McGregor fight. And it would be nice to see him get back in the UFC because he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. I'd say Poirier and Michael Chandler.
4-8-4-1's Taylor Swift versus Katy Perry. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. God, that would actually bring 190 million viewers.
People would
Taylor
definitely.
Swift fought. Are you kidding me?
Remember when Tom Cruise and Bieber were beefing?
No.
A couple years ago. Remember that? Remember when Justin Bieber was like taking shots at Tom Cruise and everyone was like a dream fight before these happened?
Why?
I don't know. Ask Justin Bieber. But it would be if Tom Cruise would beat his ass.
Sir Will says different sport and promoter, but I didn't like the boxing event on Times Square. The hardcore fans add to the event. Okay, the Times Square one, that was Ryan Garcia, right?
Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney was on that card, Rolly Romero, yeah.
They do need to figure out, like, outside is a problem for combat sports, I think.
It didn't work because it was odd because you heard like the traffic of the city, but most of the fans were standing on the street. There were very few fans actually in the arena. It was a cool idea, but didn't work out. We'll see if they can kind of change that around the White House. But yeah, it's hard to have an outdoor fight unless you're at a stadium,
right,
where everyone's sitting on top of each other because it's hard logistically to get the sound in the background.
Yeah, I have no idea how it's going to work. I hope they do it right. All right, San Diego Sports 760. Take a quick break here. Kevin Acee coming up in 10 minutes. We'll get to the text line on the other side, which is outrageous. That's next at San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John Schaefer's going to take over then. We got Kevin Acee coming up in 5 minutes. We'll talk with Kevin a lot about the Padres' new manager, Craig Stammen, who made his first appearance with the media in Peoria today. Craig Stammen, went about 8-9 minutes where he was talking with the normal crew. Marty Caswell was there. AJ Cassavell was there. Dennis Lynn, Kevin Acee, who's coming up in just a little bit. This was a question about the Padres roster and how he feels about it right now and if he expects any additions to be made. Let's hear from the Padres skipper in just a second.
It's called technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Craig.
Yeah, we got a great group of players. Top to bottom, we've got a pretty good roster that we feel like can compete for, any number of goals throughout the season. Is it the final roster? We know AJ. AJ's always got something up his sleeve. We've seen in the years past. We signed Dylan Cease the day before we left for Korea. We signed Nick Pivetta last year, middle of February. So don't put anything past him. And I know he's continually working and trying to, fill out our roster and make it as best we can at the start of opening day.
And he's right. AJ Preller does have a habit of waiting till the very last second to add something. So we'll see. He probably.
It feels odd why he does that, because it's like you let the crop of free agents dwindle down to where they know you need a certain specific position and they can juice the price up.
AJ would rather not do it like this, but you kind of got to wait and see. Like the high prices have to go away,
right?
And then you have to wait and see what's left over. And to his credit, he's done a really good job with it. Seth Lugo, Michael Waka. Dylan Cease, even to a certain extent. The
Pivetta contract was unbelievable. How he got the back end money, and basically it was a 1 year, $1 million deal with backloaded money. That's why they were looking to trade him. So, and Preller's probably a little hamstrung with the ownership situation. Are they going to let him go spend money? AJ Preller has been impressive with what he's been able to do with not always having all the ammo to go into it with.
Well, let's get into it a little bit deeper, shall we? We got Kevin Acee, our Padres insider from the Union Tribune, who just announced a new podcast, by the way. Kevin Acee going to be joining us coming up next on San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Acee. Lakers lose by 9 to the Thunder last night in Los Angeles. Taking on the Spurs tonight. Long injury report. LeBron, Reeves, and Luka are all out for this one alongside Marcus Smart. San Antonio has been bet up to a 12.5-point favorite tonight at 7:30. And SDFC second leg against Pumas tonight. SDFC won the first matchup 4-1, so they're up 3 goals on aggregate. SDFC is currently, though, plus 400 to win this match tonight. That game gets going at 5 o'clock. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day with just one pill. Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer is going to take over then. Hey, every Tuesday from here until the very end of Padres season, around this time, we're going to be checking in with the one and only Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union Tribune. He's our Padres insider. Hi, Kevin. Long off season.
Which off season are you talking about?
The Padres off season.
It does seem long in some ways every year, but this one, I would argue, is shorter. You're driving out here every single year and you go, it's just kind of surreal. It's like, oh, wow, here we go again. Like, it's starting. And that's like, I mean, that's me. That's like basically anyone involved. It's like your life is just in cycles. And suddenly this is the start. There's like this excitement. And you're also thinking, wow, it's 8 months. Okay, here we go.
Well, we did miss you, Kevin, over the months that we haven't been able to speak to you, but it's good to have you back. Now, let's get into it. So there's been a little bit of drama this offseason with the San Diego Padres. I guess, where are we as of right now on the sale of the team, on AJ Preller's contract? Why don't we rip through all the drama and give your best 1.5 minute response to what's happened this offseason?
Preller's contract is like the talk of MLB, like virtually anyone I talk to, and I've just started here really getting back into it where you call people to see what's happening. What's going on with AJ? What's going on with AJ? Look, AJ Preller knows his value. AJ would have a job the next day, basically. I'm obviously, hyperbolizing, but like he'd have a job if this contract runs out. There's still this optimism, both sides, that things will get done. It's definitely been more of I don't want to say challenge, but it's just taken longer than the Padres thought. And also, like, if you're AJ Preller, you kind of got to go, maybe I wait to see who the new owner is, because we've been operating under certain parameters here for a while, and it looks like it's going to be that way for a while. So let's, why don't I see who that is and what our resources are going to be? So I think that's probably where that's at. The ownership, people have been talking more about this for a couple weeks. So it really has seemed, you've heard more like opening day is a real possibility. And that's probably a good thing, because they went on longer. It's like, I don't know if it's even really going to happen or what's going on there. This was supposed to be a hot commodity, and it is a generally hot commodity. And so, it'll be someone with more money than the Seidlers, or a group with more money than the Seidlers. And then the question will be, what's their commitment? And then we'll go from there.
So, but what you're saying about AJ Preller, it sounds like it's more of a holdup on his end, because he talked last week about how he hasn't really had time to sign a contract. Do you think this is more AJ Preller not getting it done?
Well, that depends on how you look at it. Like, okay, so you could say that, and I get that, and maybe I am saying that, like, to a certain extent. On the other hand, AJ's not, I believe this, not trying to break the bank. So what he has been offered isn't good enough. Obviously, I'm not speaking out of school here. Like, duh. Like, it's just not. And so then, do you put that on AJ or what? Like, I mean, a year ago, 2 years ago, it's like, oh, well, gosh, I wonder what AJ's future is if he were let go by the Padres. Well, that's not in question by anybody anymore. He'll get another job somewhere else, and it'll be a good job probably. And you could say, like, these things, there's always, we try to simplify it, right? Like in our business and fans, we try to simplify it. Ooh, it's on this side. Well, okay, except here's some extenuating circumstances, or here's the reality, here's the full context, and you kind of got to put it on the other side too.
Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union Tribune joining us like he will every Tuesday throughout this Padres season. Kev, you got a chance to speak with good old Craig Stammen today. His first Peoria press conference with the media scrum. I think you, AJ Cassavell, Marty Caswell, all out there among others. But what'd you think of Craigo at the podium today?
AJ and I were, just for the record. So, but what do I think of Craig? Craig is a well-spoken, earnest, positive guy. Look, obviously, any of us who cover the team have known him for a long time. He's in a new role here. Craig was always the guy who blows it in the eighth inning and is willing to stand there and give you really good insight into what happened. I think that will parlay over into being a manager, but it's also then different talking about your players. And, you know, you want to be a defender of them, and you do need to be a defender of them. And so we'll have to see how that plays out. I think Craig is the perfect guy for a team that, you know, has had drama, that does have a certain amount of uncertainty, because Craig just doesn't have room for that in his life. And he's just, you know, he's going to move on, and he's going to move on in a way, and he's charismatic, which, you know, look, I fiercely defended Mike Schilt for a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, and for a lot of things he did. He's a good manager in a lot of ways. Craig has, you know, more charisma in his pinky than Mike does in his body.
Speaking it like it is, what do you make of the Andujar signing? Is this kind of a platoon with Gavin Sheets, or do you think one guy has the inside track to be an everyday player?
Both of those guys have a shot to be an everyday player. What would the Padres love? They'd love to, on this scrap heap that they are shopping on, find someone that enables them to have the security of, if those players are not, like, if Sheets doesn't do what he did last year, if Andujar doesn't do what he did last year, or he's really mainly a hitting lefties guy, then yeah, they have the ability, they have the freedom to platoon, and that could be a lot of combination. Andujar hasn't played much first base. He could, he has, but you know, so there's a lot of possibilities there. I could see Gavin Sheets have a strong spring and go in, and they're going, you know what? We're going to see what Gavin Sheets can do. Is he going to hit, you know, 270 against lefties? What's the reality here? You know, a slightly better year than last year, which was by far better than he'd ever been against lefties. But I don't know that there's like utmost confidence in that. That's not to say lack of confidence, but like, you can't build a team on, man, I hope Gavin Sheets can replicate that. You know, got to be realistic. So for the main part, you asked me about Andujar. It seems to be based on a long career of hitting against lefties. It really does seem to fill a need for the Padres.
Kevin Acee, Union Tribune. What about Zach Gallen? Is he going to be a Padre?
Not unless not unless what we've heard today proves untrue, as in, you know, the signaling is, oh, wow, the market's really heating up and it's big. And I heard that too. The Padres can't afford Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen's arguably the top starter left on the market. So Zach Gallen would need to be out there for another week and decide, oh man, I really want to go pitch for the Padres. And you know, then maybe the Padres are motivated to be creative enough to be able to fit that contract into this year, next year, that sort of thing. But Zach Gallen's in line for, you know, this guy turned down a qualifying offer. He's in line for maybe not Pavetta money, or, you know, but something like what Pavetta got last year, where it's like kind of a prove it deal, but it also is, you know, guarantees you a fair amount of money. The Padres are not playing in that market right now.
Okay, so Orioles, other teams can just outspend the Padres, and that's the only reason why the Padres wouldn't get Zach Gallen?
Well, it kind of goes, I don't know what what I'm answering there in terms of like, when you say that's the only reason. Yeah, I mean, Zach Gallen had a 4.83 ERA last year, and people think that he's kind of on the downturn. But that's a really good pitcher. And like I said, the best pitcher probably left on the market, and he's worth more than what the Padres can afford. And they also, we hear that and we go, oh, it's being cheap, or whatever your idea is when you say the Padres, that's not in the Padres budget. And to some extent, obviously that's true, that they're not going to spend that much, but also they don't value Zach Gallen at that level. Like, had Framber Valdez been interested in a different type of contract, not the contract he was getting where there was that much guaranteed money and that much, money that was whatever, not deferred, that, he was getting on a yearly basis. And the Padres could have gotten creative and worked out something with Framber Valdez. They would have bent over into a pretzel to do that for Framber Valdez. They're not doing that for Zach Gallen.
What do you make of Joe Musgrove? Are they going to bring him along slowly this year? Or is he going to be that kind of third starter, or are they going to give him some rest? What should we expect from Joe Musgrove this year?
Combination. I mean, yeah, I think you would call him the number 3 starter. You could argue he's number 2, whatever. He's a guy. I mean, gosh, his 25 starts right is 150 to 170 innings right. I think that's a really successful season for a guy coming back from Tommy John surgery. But I don't put limits on Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove certainly doesn't put limits on Joe Musgrove. But yes, there will be some probably maybe a backfield starter too before he hits the Cactus League. And then who knows, depending on how many innings, how many pitches, and obviously what he looks like, what their metrics and their eyes tell them, then could there be an extra day during the season here and there? I haven't penciled out the schedule yet and seen, gosh, how many days off are built in for guys anyway. But yes, it's a combination of things for Joe. He's full go, but hey, let's kind of be smart about this.
All right, Kev, we'll have fun with the pitchers and catchers all showing up for their first workouts tomorrow. Can't wait to see some big articles from Kevin Acee. You got a good one out right now with some quotes from Joe Musgrove, some quotes from Craig Stammen. Looking forward to the season and your coverage. But Kev, before we let you go, most iconic movie line in movie history. You got one for us?
When I go that way and I go movie lines, because I'm not a huge movie guy, but it's from my favorite movies, and it's stuff I say all the time. And A League of Their Own is my favorite movie of all time because it's not just funny and all that. It's a baseball movie. It's one of the best baseball movies ever made. It's true baseball. And when Dottie Henson, do you know who that is?
Sure. No Crying in Baseball.
The main character, the catcher, Gina Davis, she's telling Tom Hanks' character, gosh darn it, can't remember. He had the best lines, 30 great lines in that movie. But when she's telling him it just got too hard because she's going to quit and go off with her husband, and he goes, "It's the hard that makes it good." And I quote that all the time to myself, to my kids, to anybody, because that's a life lesson from Jimmy Dugan.
I like it, Kevin. There's No Crying in Baseball was mentioned a few times earlier today on the Rock Show over on 101.5 KGB. That's a good one, definitely, and one that I probably need to rewatch before season.
Go listen to the part leading up to that when he's airing out that girl for the fact that she missed second base and that caused a runner to advance. And it's that's what makes it a great baseball movie. There's legit stuff in there. And the part that leads up to There's No Crying in Baseball is phenomenal, as is the part afterward when he asks the umpire, "Has anyone ever told you that hat makes you look like a penis?"
People ask me that all the time, Kevin. All right, you have a great day, Kev. Next week we'll start talking about the offense of the Padres, which clearly needs to take a step forward this year. Today was mostly pitchers and catchers. We love you, Kev. Glad to have you back. And wait, before you go, you got a new podcast coming out with Schaefer.
Schaefer and Matt Devine of Divine Sports Gospel. And actually, I'm pretty excited. I like both those guys. I think Matt is fantastic. And I'm going to learn from both of them, but I'm especially going to learn from Matt. He's a lot younger than me, knows a lot more about the whole fan space than I do. And I'm pretty fired up. I think it's going to be good 3 perspectives. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. It's the Padres Collective, right? And it comes out Monday?
Yeah, with my travel schedule, we're might be different days during the week, but it'll be once a week. And look, if it's popular, if people like it, they respond, it'll be more than once a week. But for now, probably during spring on Mondays.
I would say John Schaefer upgraded. He went from Jim Russell to Matt and Kevin Acee. This feels like an upgrade. All right, Kev, thank you.
Right on. Take care.
Kevin Acee, Union Tribune. You'll hear him Tuesdays, 1:30 right here on San Diego Sports 760. Take our final break. We will be back to finish up with the text line on the other side. An Animal House quote got into the text line. I like it a lot. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760 for a final time today. Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long are with you. Hey, Brian Dutcher Coach's Show coming up Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Schaefer talking with the head coach of the Aztecs and previewing Saturday's game against Nevada. The Brian Dutcher Coach's Show this Thursday night, 6 o'clock on your home for the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760.
619. Talking about our best quotes today. Fantastic one. Joe Dirt. You just got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. Dig it. You can make it work for you.
Joe Dirt's got some good ones. You know what? That movie actually, it's wisdom is what Joe Dirt really is above
Joe
all
Dirte.
else. Rich McGuire on YouTube saying, quote from the original Bad News Bears, one of my favorite movies of all time. Hey, Yankees, you can take your apology and your trophy and shove it straight up your ass. I've been using this on Dodger fans for the last 2 years. Good one, Rich. That's Tanner in Bad News Bears.
Yeah. I gotta watch
no, it's not Tanner. It's the little kid who like doesn't talk the entire movie.
I gotta be honest, I've never seen that movie, so I gotta go home study.
The OG Bad News Bears is one of the best baseball movies ever made.
619 says Sammy laughs like Kawhi Leonard. Well, let's hear it.
Quick, someone say something funny. Make Sammy laugh. I don't think you laugh like Kawhi. You have a more breathy laugh than Kawhi does. Kawhi's comes from the throat. Nah, that's not it. But it's all text 619. Thank you for listening. All right, John Schaefer's coming up next. If you missed anything today, we had Kevin Acee on. You can find it on the podcast. Just search the Fletch Zone on San Diego Sports 760. It's Lupus. Thank you from Sir Will. Nailing that one. But yeah, that movie's fantastic.
Always come with some facts.
All right, we will see you tomorrow. John Schaefer up next. San Diego Sports 760. Go Team USA.